The sound of waves folding against the shore fills the silence between them. Maya stands at the edge of the old wooden pier, her reflection trembling in the water below. Lena watches her from a few steps back, clutching her sweater against the coastal wind. This place used to be their secret escape, where they planned their futures and buried their fears. But today, Maya's eyes hold something heavier, something she's carried too long. She turns, voice cracking, as she begins to speak the truth that's haunted her for years. Lena doesn't interrupt. She doesn't breathe. And when Maya finishes, the wind seems to stop, as if the world itself refuses to move. It's a confession of love, of betrayal, and of something she cannot undo. For the first time in their lives, silence feels like a wound. Later that morning, Maya drives home in silence. Her fingers trace the steering wheel, the rhythm of guilt pulsing through her like static. The road blurs, not from speed, but from the weight of what she's said. At home, the kitchen feels foreign. The family photos on the fridge smile back, ignorant of the fracture now between them. She replays Lena's expression, the way her sister's trust faltered for the first time. Maya whispers, as if to no one, it was the truth. But truth, she realizes, doesn't heal. It only exposes what's already broken. Lena sits on the edge of her bed, her phone lighting up with unread messages. She types and deletes a dozen replies to Maya's name before finally tossing it aside. Her room is full of traces of the sister she once idolized. Shared photos, a necklace from their mother, letters in a drawer. The confession replays in her head, every word heavier than the last. She doesn't know whether to protect Maya or expose her. For the first time, the bond they swore would never break begins to fray in silence. That evening, the sky burns orange over the shoreline. Maya walks barefoot through the wet sand, the tide whispering at her ankles. She remembers when she and Lena would race along this beach, shouting promises into the wind. Now, her own words echo back like ghosts. She kneels, pressing her palm into the sand until it leaves an imprint. Proof she's still here, even as everything else feels lost. Somewhere beyond the horizon, her sister's silence grows louder than the waves. Lena stands in her car outside Maya's house, headlights off, engine silent. She's been there for almost an hour, watching the dim light from the living room window. Her sister's silhouette passes now and then, pacing, pausing, lost. Lena grips the steering wheel, torn between confrontation and retreat. When she finally starts the car, her eyes glisten, her lips forming a whisper. The engine swallows, "You shouldn't have told me." Days pass, but they feel like years. Maya buries herself in routine. The morning coffee, the quiet hum of her typewriter, the same window view of rain tracing slow lines down the glass. Yet everything echoes with absence. She hasn't heard from Lena since that morning on the pier. Every vibration of her phone startles her heart into hope, then disappointment. Guilt sits heavy, but beneath it, there's fear. Not of what she said, but of what Lena might do with it. Some secrets, once shared, begin to live on their own, growing restless in silence. Lena's footsteps echo through the empty church hall where she volunteers. Every candle she lights feels like an apology she can't deliver. Her thoughts spiral, love and loyalty wrestling against the truth she now carries. She imagines the secret like a storm cloud pressing against her chest, demanding to be released. A kind voice interrupts. Father Doran asks if she's all right. She nods with a practiced smile, but her trembling hands betray her. When he leaves, she whispers into the quiet sanctuary, "How can the truth feel like a sin?" At the diner on Main Street, whispers follow Maya like perfume. People smile too tightly, their eyes lingering too long. She senses it, the tremor of rumor beginning to breathe. Lena must have told someone, or maybe someone overheard. Maya's chest tightens as the waitress, once friendly, places her coffee without a word. Outside, two teenagers laugh at something on a phone screen. She looks away, but her reflection in the window stares back, hollow, fragile, almost pleading. Secrets never die quietly. Lena walks home that night beneath flickering streetlights, her phone buzzing in her pocket. She ignores it. The messages, the gossip, the questions, all clawing at her conscience. Every step echoes louder, like a heartbeat she can't escape. She stops at a storefront window and sees her reflection. The girl who once believed telling the truth was the right thing. Now, she's not sure. The weight of what she's done presses into her bones. A single tear escapes before she even knows she's crying. Maya finally calls Lena. It goes to voicemail. She leaves no message. Instead, she opens her front door to the cold night air, eyes fixed on the horizon. Somewhere out there, her sister carries her truth like a weapon she never meant to give. Maya whispers to the dark, "Please don't let it hurt her." The ocean answers with distant thunder. For the first time, Maya understands. Once a secret escapes, it doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to everyone it touches. The morning breaks heavy with rain. Maya wakes to a knock on her door, hesitant but deliberate. When she opens it, a neighbor stands holding a folded newspaper. Her name bleeds across the front page in bold black ink. The secret, her secret, is there for everyone to read. A stolen trust, a hidden affair, a truth she confessed only to Lena. The room tilts. Her pulse hammers in her ears as the neighbor mumbles something she can't hear. The paper falls to the floor. Her breath shatters. Maya doesn't cry. Not yet. She only whispers her sister's name, and the sound feels like goodbye. Across town, Lena stares at the same newspaper in the hands of a coworker. The whispers around her cut deeper than any words. She never told the press. She swears she didn't. But she told one person, and one person was enough. Shame burns through her veins. She wants to run to Maya to explain, to apologize, but fear roots her in place. The secret is no longer theirs. It has become public property, dissected, judged, misunderstood. And in every whisper, she hears her own guilt echoing back. Maya drives aimlessly through the storm, wipers thrashing, heart pounding. The secret she thought might free her has instead caged her in shame. She sees her face on a billboard screen, a blurred photo from years ago beside that headline, her confession twisted into a scandal. She pulls over near the cliffside, the sea roaring below. For a moment, she thinks of calling Lena. Not to accuse, but to understand. Yet the phone feels like a weapon now. Every vibration stings like betrayal. Lena arrives at Maya's house, soaked and trembling. The door is unlocked. Inside, the air smells of salt and rain. Papers scatter across the floor. Letters, drafts, the newspaper torn into shreds. Maya sits by the window, knees drawn up, silent. When their eyes meet, there are no accusations, only grief. Lena steps forward, voice breaking. "I didn't mean for it to get out." Maya's lips tremble. "But you told someone." The words land heavy, final. They stand inches apart, closer than ever, yet unreachable. Two souls separated by the truth they both helped destroy. Thunder shakes the house as Maya finally speaks. "I loved him, Lena. I never meant for anyone to know." The words slice through the air. The secret, her affair with Lena's fiancé, lands heavier than the storm outside. Lena's breath catches, disbelief painting her face. For a moment, the room feels hollow, time suspended. Then the truth fills it. Ugly, human, irreversible. Maya looks away, unable to face the devastation she's unleashed twice, first in confession, now in consequence. Outside, the storm begins to drown the town, mirroring the flood between them. Morning creeps through shattered clouds. The storm has passed, but silence feels heavier than thunder. Lena wakes in her apartment, mascara smudged, the night before repeating like a wound that went close. Every memory of her sister now carries venom. Laughter tainted, childhood moments poisoned by betrayal. She opens her phone to dozens of missed calls and messages from people who know, people who pity her. She deletes them all. Only one message remains. "I'm sorry." It's from Maya. Lena stares at it until her vision blurs, then deletes that too. Some apologies are too late to matter. Maya sits alone in the diner. The same booth, the same coffee, but nothing feels the same. Conversations hush as she walks in. The news has traveled. People know now. She stares at her reflection in the stainless steel napkin holder. Distorted, unfamiliar. She once thought truth would set her free. Instead, it caged her inside the judgment of others. A small group of regulars glance her way, murmuring. She hears her name but not the words. The silence that follows is worse than any insult. She realizes the punishment for her truth isn't hate. It's isolation. That evening, Lena finds herself driving past the pier, the place where it all began. The sky is bruised purple. The ocean calm again. She stops the car and steps out, wind brushing her hair. Memories crash over her, the laughter, the secrets, the promises of sisterhood. All lies now. She throws Maya's locket, the one she found near the cliff, into the water. Watching it disappear beneath the waves feels like cutting the last thread that bound them. But as the ripples fade, she realizes revenge doesn't bring peace. It only leaves emptiness where love used to live. Maya receives a letter in the mail the next morning. No return address. Inside is a single sentence in Lena's handwriting. "You deserve to feel what I felt." The words shake her. She knows Lena, knows the weight behind every word she writes. Fear curls in Maya's stomach as she looks toward the ocean beyond her window. It's calm now, deceptively gentle. But inside her, a storm begins again. She wonders what her sister is planning, and whether she's already too late to stop it. Lena walks through town later that day, a quiet fury in her step. Every person she passes seems to know her pain, to see her humiliation. She doesn't hide from it anymore. She carries it openly, like armor. When she stops at a bulletin board outside the grocery store, she pins a photo of Maya, smiling, radiant, before the affair. And beneath it, a single handwritten line. "Truth has a cost. People glance, whisper, take photos." The final act of betrayal has begun, not with words, but with public shame. By the end of the week, Maya's photo is everywhere, on phone screens, news blogs, community forums. The story has evolved, twisted by strangers who crave drama more than truth. She reads the comments late into the night, each one another knife. Words like homewrecker, liar, selfish. She wants to defend herself, but knows any response will only feed the fire. Instead, she sits in the dark, scrolling through fragments of her own destruction. She closes her eyes and whispers Lena's name like a prayer, unsure if she wants forgiveness or to disappear. Lena stands in line at a grocery store when she hears two women whispering behind her, repeating parts of the article, laughing softly. Her chest tightens as she realizes she's no longer seen as the victim, but as the sister who turned cruel. She rushes outside, heart racing, guilt and anger wrestling inside her. She wanted Maya to hurt, but not like this. Not to be devoured by strangers. For the first time, Lena wonders if she's become the villain in her own story. She leans against her car, whispering through tears. "What have I done?" Maya visits the church where Lena once volunteered. The candles flicker weakly, scent of wax and salt lingering in the air. She kneels and whispers her confession. Not to God, but to the empty room. "I broke something sacred. I broke her." Her voice trembles. She leaves a folded note on the altar, sealed with her ring. As she walks away, light spills through stained glass, painting her in red and blue. Fragments of guilt and grace. Outside, the rain starts again, soft and relentless. Lena finds the letter later that evening. The priest gives it to her with a somber expression. Inside, Maya's handwriting trembles across the page. I never asked you to forgive me. I only wanted you to know I still love you." The words unravel Lena's anger in an instant. Tears stream freely as she rereads it again and again, each sentence echoing the sister she once knew, the one who braided her hair, who defended her in school, who promised forever. Regret floods through her, but some things can't be undone. That night, Lena drives to Maya's house, headlights cutting through the fog. She rehearses what she'll say, how she'll ask for forgiveness, how she'll tell her sister she still loves her. But when she arrives, the door is unlocked, lights off. The house is empty except for the faint sound of the sea. On the desk by the window sits Maya's ring glinting beside an open notebook. The final page reads only one line. Some secrets were never meant to survive us. Lena's knees give out. The ocean roars louder, as if it knows what she's about to find. The ocean whispers through the night, relentless and calm. Lena searches the cliffs with a flashlight, her breath quick and shallow. Maya's car is parked nearby, engine cold. Driver's door open. The wind howls through the empty space where a voice should be. Lena calls her sister's name into the darkness, the sound swallowed by the sea. Her flashlight trembles as she spots something on the edge. A shoe, half buried in sand. The same pair Maya wore the night of the confession. The tide creeps closer, washing away the footprints. Lena's voice cracks as she screams, "Maya!" But the waves answer first. By dawn, the beach is lined with police tape and searchlights. Volunteers comb the shoreline, their shadows stretching long against the pale sand. Lena sits wrapped in a blanket, numb, eyes fixed on the horizon. A detective asks her questions. When she last saw Maya, what they talked about, if Maya ever mentioned hurting herself. Lena answers in fragments, her voice hollow. She doesn't mention the note, or the ring, or the words that ended it all. Some truths still belong to the sea. Hours later, Lena stands by the pier where it all began. The storm has erased their footprints, the wood still damp from rain. She kneels where Maya once stood, fingers brushing against the cracks in the boards. In her mind, she hears her sister's laugh, that bright, echoing sound she used to love. Now, it feels like a ghost. She whispers, "I forgive you." But the wind steals it before it can fall. For the first time, Lena realizes forgiveness doesn't need a witness. It's the only way to stop drowning. That evening, Lena walks through Maya's house once more. The air carries her sister's scent, lavender and salt. Every object feels sacred now, the coffee cup still on the counter, the half-written notes scattered on her desk, the framed childhood photo of them at the beach. She picks it up, tracing the edges with trembling fingers. In it, Maya's arm is wrapped around her shoulders, both smiling, sunburned, alive. Lena presses the photo to her chest and collapses into silent sobs. The house answers only with the slow creak of settling wood, a lullaby for the broken. As night falls again, Lena drives to the ocean's edge. She sits on the hood of her car, staring out at the horizon where the sky meets the sea. The waves rise and fall in rhythm, as if breathing with her. She whispers to the dark water, "I'm sorry I couldn't save you." The tide answers with a soft hiss, pulling the words away. In that moment, Lena makes a silent promise. She will carry her sister's memory not as guilt, but as penance. The secret may have destroyed them, but love, even broken, still endures. 6 months have passed since the night the ocean claimed Maya. The town has moved on. New headlines, new gossip. But for Lena, time remains suspended between guilt and longing. She walks the same streets where whispers once followed her, but now no one looks twice. The silence feels different, not judgmental, just empty. She stops out the diner window where Maya once sat, coffee untouched. A new woman occupies that booth now, smiling, alive. For the first time, Lena doesn't look away. She simply smiles faintly, whispering to the memory, "You're free now." Lena returns to the pier, the same boards now bleached pale by salt and time. The sea sparkles under a clean blue sky. She kneels and scatters a handful of wild flowers into the water. Daisies, Maya's favorite. They drift away slowly, caught in the tide. "You always said the ocean keeps secrets," she murmurs. "Maybe it's keeping you too." The wind moves gently through her hair, and for the first time she feels something like forgiveness. Not just for her sister, but for herself. At home, Lena opens the old journal she found among Maya's things. Between half-finished pages of poems and unsent letters, she finds one entry written in red ink. "If you love someone, tell them before silence does." Lena traces the words with her fingertips, tears welling but calm. She copies the line onto a new page, signing it with her own name. The act feels like breathing again. She closes the book gently, setting it beside a lit candle. Love hasn't died. It has only changed its shape. Weeks later, Lena visits the community center to volunteer, the same place she and Maya once talked about rebuilding together. The coordinator hands her a box of donated books, and as she sorts them, she finds one of Maya's manuscripts tucked inside. Her breath catches. On the title page, Maya had written, "For my sister, the one who keeps my truth safe." Lena smiles through her tears. The world might remember the scandal, but she will remember the story, the one that lived quietly between them. Fragile, human, and real. As the sun sets over the coast, Lena walks once more along the shoreline. The sea glows amber, calm and endless. She stops, watching the horizon blur into gold, and whispers, "I still carry you." The tide reaches her feet, cool and soft like an embrace. In that moment, the world feels lighter. Not because the pain is gone, but because she's learned to live with it. The secret that destroyed them also bound them forever. Not in guilt, but in love, remember. The waves fold gently, erasing her footprints one last time.